Did you know there's a ramen restaurant in Japan where cats not only serve but also cook the ramen? It's called Red Cat Ramen, but the cats who make and serve the ramen can't actually eat the ramen they make. So what do these hardworking cats eat? I'll show you with this cat stew made by the scaredy cat noodle making tiger Krishna. All the ingredients are technically cat friendly to eat, but consult your veterinarian first. This is a bulk recipe, so enough to feed a restaurant full of cats, including seconds. This is a 55-ounce kabocha. Cut the kabocha in half. Kabochas are great as they're generally available year-round. If you can't easily cut the kabocha, microwave it for a minute to soften the skin. Be aware the kabocha will be hot to touch when you take it out of the microwave. After you cut it in half, take a spoon and spoon out the seeds and fibrous strands. The strands in this kabocha are quite white in color versus the normal orange. It's okay though, just a little riper kabocha. As long as the flesh is still orange, it's not a problem. By the way, are you a cat lover too? If you are, then you wouldn't be able to work at Red Cat Ramen as you would be too distracted by all the cats to concentrate on work, haha. Have you read the Red Cat Ramen manga or watched the anime? The anime stays very true to the manga, which I love to see. After you remove the seeds and strands, you'll cut the kabocha into small chunks with the skin still on. Don't worry, the skin is edible after cooking it and it adds color to the stew too. To cut it into chunks, you'll put the flesh part down and skin side up, then start by cutting the kabocha into wedges. You'll then cut the wedges into chunks. Again, if you have difficulty cutting the kabocha, you can microwave it for a minute to soften the skin, and be sure to use a sharp knife as well. To cook the stew, use a pressure cooker, though in the manga Krishna used an auto cooker. I'm using a 6-quart pressure cooker. A pressure cooker is fast, convenient, and easy to use, especially for a tiger who is all paws. An auto cooker is similar to a pressure cooker in size and shape, but the unique difference is there's a spatula-like attachment used inside the pot which constantly stirs the food inside by itself that can be set for a specific time and even food type. This frees you to do other tasks while the food stirs by itself, like cooking other foods, as you don't have to watch over that one dish, read a book, watch TV, family time, and more. It's a relatively new device which most households don't have now, but I assume we will in the future as it can cook stews, pan fry foods, and more without the need to constantly stir for even cooking and prevents burning. Auto cookers can also pressure cook, and as a pressure cooker is more common, I use that, but you can do a slow cook method too. Put the chunks of kabocha on the bottom of the pot. If you don't already know, when using a sharp knife to cut food, make your non-cutting hand into a cat paw position to avoid an accident of cutting your fingers. Yes, cat paw is how people in Japan refer to curling your fingers in to prevent an accident, not just because I'm doing a cooking video from a cat manga, haha. After all, most know what a cute cat paw looks like, so it's easy to reference and to imagine. You'll now cut 6 pounds of chicken thighs. The dies likely have a bone attached to it, so you'll separate the meat from the bone. I recommend wearing a glove with your non-dominant hand, as it will get slippery cutting the meat off the bone with your knife. To cut the thigh, I start by cutting off the bigger part of the thigh, not touching the bone, into bite-sized chunks while leaving the skin on. You won't get all the meat off, so when you've got as much as you can, put the bone on the side for later. You won't be wasting the meat left over on the bone and the bone itself, as you'll see. The reason for choosing chicken thighs is how juicy and tender it will be after you're done cooking it, as well as for reheating it if you have leftovers, which you'll likely have unless you have a big family of hungry cats at home. The reason Krishna made this cat stew is due to her being the back-of-house noodle maker. As she prepares the noodles and gyoza wrappers in the morning for the restaurant, she doesn't have much work after she's done except for daily chores. So on busy days, like the day this chapter is based on, Krishna prepares dinner for everyone to eat as they're too exhausted after serving and cooking all day, as well as clean up when the kitchen is closed. All the cats in the restaurant and Tamako really appreciate all the hard work she does, so everyone else can work hard as well at the front of the house. Plus, she's shy and has stage fright in front of customers, so she stays in the back as a result. When you're done cutting up the chicken thighs into bite-sized pieces, add it to the pot. Lightly wash 2 ounces of dried scallop, then put it on top of the chicken. The scallop provides the umami this stew needs due to the lack of seasoning, as it is a stew made for cats who can't eat the seasonings we usually eat daily, including salt. The bones you put on the side will now be put on top of the chicken to provide the flavor you get from the bones in the stew. You might have noticed the 6-quart pot is now very full, and you're right, it was. I didn't have a problem cooking it, but if you feel it's too much, you can lower the amount of kabocha or chicken that goes into the pot. Add enough water in the pot to go up to the max line on the inner wall. Put the pot in the Instant Pot cooker and cook it on high pressure for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes is over, let the steam naturally release. When the pin of the Instant Pot is down, open the lid and discard the bones, which should be at the top of the pot. You can also easily scrape off the now cooked meat on the bone. Simple to make, right? To make it not so oily, you can skim the oil floating at the top. When you've skimmed the top layer of oil, there will still be some floating around, but you don't have to worry about it being too oily when you mix everything together. Ladle the cat stew into a serving bowl to enjoy. Let's try the liquid first. Itadakimasu. There's so much umami. You can really taste the scallop despite there being so little compared to the other ingredients. You can eat it as is like the cat, but as a human, like Tamako, you can add salt to taste. I added a pinch of salt to bring out the flavor of the stew. It looks very filling with all the chunks of chicken and kabocha in the bowl. The green skin of the kabocha does give it the color it needs, or else it would be mostly brownish in color. There's a great flavor from the combination of the scallop and chicken, which gives it the umami flavor any cat or human would enjoy. Remember, despite the cat-friendly ingredients, besides the salt for your own bowl, consult your veterinarian before feeding this to your own cat. The chicken thighs are tender and have soaked up the liquid, so they're not dry at all. If you feel it could use more salt, be sure to add more. With all the chicken you'll eat, you'll have your energy revitalized in no time, just like the cats. The kabocha is super soft and you can easily bite into it. The kabocha also gives you a nice mouthfeel due to the difference in texture from eating the skin and the flesh. Speaking of mouthfeel, there's also the dried scallop pieces you pick up here and there, which are chewy but release lots of umami when you bite into it, which is really nice. Overall, this stew is quite delicious and simple to make, especially when the cooking is done by the pressure cooker. If you do have leftovers, you can put it in a sealed container and leave it in the fridge where the kabocha and chicken will absorb the liquid. So when you're ready to serve, you can add water to the stew and reheat it to get more liquid, then add salt to taste to bring out the umami. The leftovers did last me a few days, and each time I reheated it, the chicken remained tender, kabocha was soft, and it was delicious of course, and quite filling too. Currently, the manga is physically available in Japanese and French, but you can read it online in English too. You can also follow the mangakas and the anime social media to support them too and learn the latest information. Did you know there's a Red Cat Ramen mobile game coming out this winter? It'll be available on Android and iPhone in English and Japanese. You'll get to help out in the restaurant, brush the cats, decorate the restaurant, and more with the original lines from the Cats 2. Look forward to enjoying more cats on your phone, as if you don't already have enough, haha. You can also watch the interviews and talk shows the seiyus did for the anime online, which will be linked in the description. The ingredients you'll need for this stew includes a large kabocha, around 55 ounces, 6 pounds of chicken thighs, 2 ounces of dried scallops, water, and salt to taste, as well as an instant pot to cook it in. Buy the ingredients you'll need through the links in the description. As cat lovers, we can only dream a ramen restaurant run by cats becomes reality, but until then, enjoy the Red Cat Ramen manga and anime. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more delicious manga cooking videos to enjoy, including more tasty human and cat cooked meals. Until next time, nya!